Wake up, knight. You must take up your arms again. This is all very confusing. I know. Focus. Breathe. It will all become clear soon. You were fighting in the last great battle for Britannia, when King Arthur's adversaries marched against the once and future king. You have committed dreadful acts to fulfill your destiny. Do you remember the earth trembling? Can you recall the gathering of terrible armies? You saw Camelot burning and watched the power of magic tearing apart the world at its seams. You led knights and monsters into a deadly storm of fury and blood. You destroyed the ladies of the sun and the lords of the winter. You have killed King Arthur, and with his dying breath, he struck you down. You both died, and yet you both live. You have unleashed something that cannot be stopped. The tide of madness and pain will swallow us all. I have brought you back to end this nightmare, Sir Mordred. I want you to go on a knightly quest. I want you to finish what you have begun. Kill King Arthur, or whatever he has become, after I took his dying vessel to Avalon.
Welcome to the next chapter of the Knight's Tale Dev Diary. This time, we're taking a look at the game's deep character management possibilities, starting with the characteristics of the 6 classes. Without further ado, let's jump into it. Defenders can withstand more hits, so they act as protectors, using their abilities to defend other characters as well. In turn, they're not as skilled with a weapon, so their hits deal less damage. If you want to deal more damage, the champion might suit you. They can penetrate enemy defenses like no other, striking enemy units with great power. This also means that their defense capabilities are mediocre. Then again, you don't have to let your enemies get closer. The marksman can target distant units, taking them out effectively. And they're quite agile as well. But as soon as they get into a melee situation, they're in trouble. We also believe in the element of surprise. The vanguard can hide and set traps to gain an advantage in the battle. If necessary, they can hold their own in melee combat as well. The Arcanists invoke ancient powers, spells that deal damage in an area and curses that weaken enemy combatants. Since they're not warriors, they are very vulnerable in close combat. Sages fare somewhat better in a melee situation, but it's not really their specialty. In selfless acts, they elevate others, using boosting spells to strengthen allied combatants. In King Arthur Knight's Tale, each hero is unique, hired in special missions where you can learn about their story and background. Each hero has unique personality traits and a morality value. Among them, you'll recognize the most well-known characters from the Arthurian myth. Lancelot, Guinevere, Merlin, and others can join the round table. As their reputation suggests, they offer unique extra skills for your benefit. Throughout your journey, you'll find many artifacts. Among them are special ones that can significantly affect the tactical role of your heroes, even granting new abilities. By finding more and more, you can assemble more varied parties. Discover even more ancient secrets throughout the land by being observant and ingenious, and find unique consumable effects. Choose wisely which of your heroes should take these. By having more than 30 heroes coming from the 6 classes, you'll have access to more than 300 skills. This way, assembling a party of 4 combatants has a potential of near endless variation. But be careful how you're combining your heroes. Be aware of the objectives and conditions of your next mission. Each situation requires a different approach. Consider everything you've learned and choose your party members wisely. That's it for today. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned until our next episode. Welcome to the third entry in the Knight's Tale Dev Diary. This time, we're taking a look beyond the story of Mordred and Arthur, because we've got some cool things in store. Let's check out what kind of game modes and horrors await the players after completing the main story of King Arthur Knight's Tale. In this tactical role-playing game, the campaign is only the first part of your journey. If you're craving more challenges, you can delve deeper into this world with an incredibly satisfying endgame content and seasonal updates. And if you claim you can breeze through even the hardest challenges, prove your worth against other players in an engaging PvP mode. The campaign might conclude, but the game is far from over. Using your very best parties, you can attempt to tackle a near impossible challenge: stopping the Fomorian invasion. During a series of randomly appearing endgame missions, you'll have the chance to level up further, collect incredible treasures, and equip your characters with the best gear to face the ultimate danger. The plight might seem endless, but even nightmares can end. With enough fortitude and skill, you can overcome the cruelest bosses, such as the Great Worm or King Bress. And at the end, if you're still alive and kicking, you can challenge Balor, the Fomorian god himself. Let's say you've gotten good, and you can defeat even the hardest AI-controlled enemies, and you want to prove yourself to the world. Worry not, because you can test your skills by facing real human players. Coming soon in our next early access patch, you'll be able to fight on multiple maps specifically created for PvP scenarios. In our custom PvP mode, you'll be able to use many unique options that will influence your tactical approach, including various power-ups, items, and even terrain arrangement. Determine which heroes can be selected by both players from a set pool of characters, or create a game of moralities. Let the great heroes of different sides of morality fight against each other. You can also select a game mode where your custom endgame party goes head-to-head with another player's advanced party. May the best team prosper. The challenges don't end here either. After the full release, we plan to support King Arthur Knight's Tale for a long time, in the form of free content updates called Seasons, and smaller DLCs. Seasons will periodically introduce new enemy factions, new endgame bosses, and add new challenges and loot, including collectible consumable items. Prepare to face the Seelie, the Unseelie, the Romans, and even ghosts in the post-release period of the game. King Arthur Knight's Tale is a turn-based tactical game with RPG and roguelite elements, and it's leaving early access on February 15th, 2022. Be sure to check out our previous developer diaries, where we talk more about the main features, the playable classes, and more. See you next time! Welcome! You are watching the developer diary for King Arthur Knight's Tale. In this first episode, we're going to focus on what we mean when we say this game is an interesting hybrid between turn-based tactical games and traditional RPGs. King Arthur Knight's Tale is a complex tactical fantasy game created by hardcore developers for hardcore players. In this game, every little move and every decision matters. Armor and shields are the most effective when facing the enemy, and the in-depth Overwatch and opportunity attack system turns front lines and flanking into a major tactical feature. If you're not careful, traps and stealthy enemies can lead you into impossible battle situations really quickly. But remember that you can also use all these features to your advantage. Know your enemies and counter their attacks with the right moves. Sometimes meticulous planning and patience will be the key to victory. But sometimes simply charging straight into combat with your heroes will work just fine. Will you become a rightful monarch or a tyrant? Do you believe in Christianity, or would you rather follow the old faith? These decisions shape your morality, which will affect how your knights regard you as their lord. In the nightmarish land of Avalon, the world is never simply black or white, but somewhere between the various shades of gray.
You are a righteous king, and I am your humble servant. I think one day you will regret this, Mordred.
Sometimes you must choose between bad or worse, and the consequences will follow you until the end.
None can stand in my way.
The character progression in Knight's Tale is designed to be similar to the traditional RPGs. Your heroes level up and gain skill points that they spend on their unique trees. The complex loot system provides powerful and exciting options to fine-tune their tactical capabilities. Your heroes are unique, and all of them have their own personalities and loyalties. Be careful about how you treat your heroes, because they will certainly react to the tough decisions you'll need to make. But the fate of Camelot depends on them just as much as it depends on you. Well, that was all for today. Thank you for your attention, and stay tuned for more episodes.
gamezplay.org